Impromptu stream. Wasn't really planning on streaming today. Um, but then I thought about, yay, Christmas is in 3 days. So, I'm probably not going to want to stream on Christmas Eve. I'm definitely not going to want to stream on Christmas, and the game is still fresh in my mind today. So let me just hop on for 30, 45 minutes, chat a little bit about some of the postpartum analysis that I've seen from this Liverpool Spurs game. I've been going all over YouTube. I've been in search of the most positive Liverpool fans. I want to really understand, what is there to be positive about? This is the great question to me. What is there to be positive? Where is the mental? You can tell how tired I am. Where is this mental attitude coming from? Hey, big up. Big up, bro. But like, how could people be so delusioned? This whole narrative of 6 games unbeaten, it goes to show the impact that the first games had on these people's mental psyche, right? We lost 3 in a row before we went 6 games unbeaten. We drew to 2 newly promoted sides before winning 3 straight games. What is it for now? Let me confirm that. I believe it's 3, right? Isn't it 3 draws, 3 wins? Let me look. Sunderland. It's Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's 3 draws. No, it's 2 draws, 4 wins. West Ham 1, 2 draws, 4 wins. 4 wins, 2 draws. But people are forgetting about the 3 losses in a row right before that. It's very convenient to say 6 games unbeaten because you ignore the 3 games in a row that you lost. So in the last 10 games, you've still lost 3 fucking games. That's just not good enough. That's just not good enough in any way, shape, or form. Liverpool should not be losing more than 1 game per 10. If a season is 60 games, Liverpool should not lose more than 6 games in a season. That should be like the floor. 6 games should be the floor. The floor. I will take a 1 loss per 10 games. I believe that that's realistic. 1 loss per 10 games for a 60-game season. Either way, I just don't understand where all this positivity is coming from. I don't really get it. Like, are people just like, are we just cope maxing? Are we just cope maxing at this point? Do people no longer want to admit what's actually happening at the football club, what the reality of the situation is? You know how I talked about stages, right? 8 weeks ago, we were at stage 1. We had the opportunity. Hey, it's only stage 1. We can address this now. Now a lot of people are saying that we're terminal. And because we're terminal, they're saying it doesn't matter. You see, this is the sequence of events. Once someone accepts death, things don't necessarily matter as much as they used to. So now that these fans have accepted death, they don't really care about what they watch. They don't care about the quality. They don't care about the players. They don't care about the future. They don't care about the system. They don't care about the fundamentals. They just care about the result. That's it. They just want to see the result because they accept the fact that they're dead. They are the walking dead, so they just want to be happy. And happiness to them is defined by 3 points, and they don't care. I think it's very safe to say that we're on a 3-game win streak, and I think it's probably the 3 worst wins that I've seen from this football club in at least 3 years. It is the worst win streak that I think I've ever looked at as a Liverpool fan in my life. A terrible game against Inter that was defensively pragmatic, that just came down to the fact that you were given a soft penalty. A terrible game against Brighton where the other team missed literally more chances than you created, including an open net, and on any other day would have been a draw. And then a categorical abysmal failure against 10 men that then went to 9 men. Hey, but listen, the boys fought hard against 9, huh? Hey, right, Arnie? I thought that we were able to see out the game very well against 9 men. I thought that we held possession against 9 men fantastically. Yeah, absolutely. 100% effective. We'll talk about the stats in a little because there's some stats about that game that blow my fucking mind. But genuinely, like, how I don't understand how any Liverpool fan could watch us this season and say that they're excited. The passion for this football club has been ripped out of me. And it's a shame to say that. I don't celebrate goals anymore. I feel lifeless when I watch this team. I feel completely void of passion because there's the ever looming thought that I know that there's nothing coming from this season. I know that we're not going to win this league. So watching these Premier League games, it's like it doesn't mean anything. I'm out. I'm done. I have 6 losses and 2 draws. I'm not winning 20 of 21 games remaining. It's not happening. This team is not winning 20 of the last 21 games. That's the only realistic way I can see us winning the title. That would put us on around 90 points. Actually, it would put us on 89 if we won 20 of 21. So I'm always bothered by that. I spent some time yesterday and I was watching old highlights of Liverpool. Every once in a while, I like to go back and I like to remind myself of my favorite games of the past. And I'll watch the highlights and I'll listen to the crowd and I'll like remember the most passionate days that I had as a Liverpool fan. So I'll go and I'll watch the Liverpool 4, Manchester City 3 Premier League game from 2018 where Salah scored from the halfway line and Sadio Mane thundered it in. I'll watch the Liverpool Barcelona comeback. I'll watch Liverpool versus City in the Champions League. I'll watch Liverpool versus PSG in the Champions League. I'll watch the Liverpool versus Chelsea game from 2019. I'll pick my favorite games and I'll rewatch them and I'll be like, oh my God, I loved this football club. Like this was the most exciting time to love this football club. Every game I would have jitters while watching. Like it would take me 15 minutes to stop shaking because I'd be so nervous because I knew that every game meant so much. But now I felt that for the first part of this season. That Arsenal game, I was a nervous wreck. And I went nuts when Szoboszlai put that free kick in. But there was a little piece of my brain after every game where I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? I could even kind of feel the passion be stripped away last season in the second half when we had this massive lead, but we were playing dog shit football. It's just like this team don't care, man. Like they got a lead, they don't care. They ain't gonna put they're not gonna put this extra effort in. And now today, I watched this club. I mean, Alexander Isak scored, and I didn't even move. I was just like, I mean, I guess the real reason why I didn't react to Isak scoring was because I immediately saw that he was hurt. I watched him put it in, and I stared at him, and before I could even react to the goal, I just went, "God fucking damn it. He's done. God fucking damn it." Ekitike scored, and I was just like, "Hey, big up Ekitike." It's the same for the Brighton game. It's hard to be passionate about the football club right now because in reality, you don't fucking believe. Now, if you go to the game, it's a little bit different. If I was going to every game, you bet your ass I'm going to be up for the occasion, but I'm not. I'm in my room. I'm watching the game on a computer. I have other things distracting me. The game becomes very boring. It's hard to stay connected to it. But that's the manager doing that to you. When it's that consistent, then it happens over a sustained period and slowly the life is choked out of you as a fan, that's on the manager. It's difficult to I'm looking at these stats against Spurs and I'm like my mind is just being fucking blown. Diabolical. Look at this. Forget my fucking rant. I'm just talking about nothing. Let's talk about some facts. Xavi Simons got a red card in the 31st minute. So for 70 minutes, Spurs were playing with a man down, yet they had more shots than us. They had an equal amount of big chances, and they had a larger XG. And they had 10 men for 70 minutes. Take a look at this attack momentum, right? This is something that basically says who is attacking more during a game. In the first half, Tottenham had a more intense attack at one point than we did at any point of Tottenham being at 10 men. At 9 men, Tottenham had all of the attack. At 9 men. Liverpool had possession. Again, I believe that this is the perfect example of what's happening at Liverpool. We have more possession, we have more passes, but it means jack shit. It means nothing because we don't create anything. And the reason why we don't create anything is because we have a terrible structure. It doesn't produce good football. It doesn't produce high quality chances. It doesn't produce good play. Liverpool had a man advantage for the majority of the game, still fell short on ground duels. Liverpool only had 4 tackles in the whole game. Now, some of these stats, they don't really mean a whole lot. For instance, let's take a look at the juxtaposition here. Liverpool had 200 passes in the opposition final third. 200. Tottenham only had 70. Liverpool had 200 passes in the final third. So if I only showed you this piece right here, you would probably be looking at me and you would be saying, oh, 200 passes in the final third compared to 70. You guys must have battered them 3-0. You guys must have had like 15 shots on goal. They must have not had any chances. This must have been a fucking easy breezy, no problem. Not so much. We had less XG, we had less total shots, we had an equal amount of big chances, and they had less men on the pitch. So you can't even be positive about the underlying statistics when you break down the game because those aren't even good. And again, I'm not a big fan of doing that. I know there's a lot of people out there whose analysis leads to numbers. And I'm like, that's just not who I am. I think numbers are a good tool, but the best analysis is right here. The second best analysis is right here. The third best analysis is right here. Those are your three tools: your right eye, your left eye, and your brain. There's the only three things you need to analyze the game. And all you got to do is sit down and watch 90 minutes of a game, and you will know everything. You will know everything. Ekitike's the man. Wemby till I die. I love Ekitike. I ain't never going to say a bad word about him. He's my boy. He is my favorite player at the football club, without a doubt. But I see you, Nems. Big up. Hope you're well too, dude. Hope you're well as well. The issue is that we're moving the goalposts now. And I still see fucking people talking about the same fucking bullshit. We don't have progressive passers. Guys, Konate was the definition of a progressive passer in the last two games. I don't know what more you would want from a center back in the last two games. Just saying. Going forward, I don't know what more you want. I don't know what more you want out of your center back. The reason why our midfielders are all carriers is because when you look at it, there's never any direct options, so they're forced to carry. The amount of surface level analysis that I see from the fans of this football club is mind-blowing. I like, people just pick things to be convenient and then they talk about that as the fact. Brother, how can you sit there and look at our off-ball movement and tell me that progressive carrying is the problem? Progressive carrying is the only solution that these players can find in the problem of the fundamental system. Well, we gave up when we went 2-0. Once we went up 2-0, we stopped attacking, which again is another massive problem. This team puts their foot off the gas pedal because they're a bunch of fucking stagnant pussies because this manager is a complacent fucking cock. Arne Slot is a bitch. There's no other way to put it. Arne Slot is a pussy. He plays football like a pussy. That simple. Isak did get unlucky. And honestly, that tackle from Van de Ven, I don't care what people say, it's a dirty tackle. It's a dirty tackle. You don't scissor kick someone in the ankle. You don't do that. That's not how you block a shot. That's reckless. It's stupid. He knew what he was doing. He knew, I'm either going to get the ball or I'm going to get the man. And I saw a dirty play from all of Tottenham throughout that whole game. Fucking Frimpong took an elbow in the face. Romero literally kicked Konate. Spurs were playing dirty, 100%. But either way, what's funny is that at 11v11 in the first 30 minutes, the amount of times that I saw Spurs just not attack us. The amount of times that Spurs had the opportunity to attack our defensive right-hand channel in transition when that position was just completely vacated by Connor Bradley because he's basically being told to be a right winger. They never played the switch. They never attacked the space. I mean, they had so much space to attack at 11v11, and they're just so terrible. 11v11, Spurs had the better opportunities in terms of what could they have done. They just didn't do what they could have done, and that's another problem. People can't see that. When people look at the game, people can't think for themselves, watch it and say, you know, if they had done this instead of that, they really would have hurt us. And I know that other teams will watch the film here and they'll say, hey, they didn't do this, but Liverpool have given this same look to 3 teams. We're not going to make the same mistake as those 3 teams. At least that's what a smart team would do. Because smart teams prepare. Smart teams watch all of your games. If I worked as someone who studied film for a team that was going to play Liverpool, it would be quite easy to figure out how to hurt us. Yet, teams fail to do it every week because they're not good. That is the saving grace here. Tottenham Hotspur are a shit fucking club. Well, we can't continue with the 2-striker system because we only have 1 striker. Isak indeed has a broken leg. How many games do you think we lose? I don't know. But the problem is, Joseph, is that a draw is a loss at this point. I've said my standard is still to win the Premier League. And to do that, you got to win 20 out of 21 to really do it. 89 points. So, you know, you can draw 1 more game. That's my opinion. Every draw is a loss. Every draw is 3 points dropped. That's the way I view it. You've already, like, the problem is that now Liverpool have used their whole season's worth of dropping points. Done. We've dropped points in 8 games, and 6 of them are losses. You've used it all up. I would be singing a much different tune if we didn't lose to Crystal Palace and Chelsea in the final minute, if we didn't draw to Sunderland and Leeds. That's 4 different games. That's 2 losses that could have been draws, and that's 2 draws that should have been wins. So that's 4 and 2. That's 6 points. And that would change everything. We would be on 35 points. And that still doesn't include the fact that we're playing dog shit football throughout all of that. I guess the one real saving grace is that even with how bad we play, we're still somehow on 29 points. With how bad we fucking play, we're still on 29 points, which is a fucking miracle that we are. Okay, but Christian, here's the problem with this narrative. If Liverpool win the next 3 games, and then let's say we win the next 4 and we beat Arsenal, right? So let's take a look at the table. Give me a second here. Let's take a look at the table. Let me bring this up just for you. All right. So our next 3 games are against Fulham, Wolves, and Leeds. Arsenal's next 3 games are against, in the Prem, Brighton, Villa, and Bournemouth. Let's say, for all intents purposes, we each win the next 3 of our games. You know what? Let's make it a little bit more interesting. Let's say Arsenal lose 1 of them and win 2. So Arsenal gains 6 points. So Arsenal are on 45. And let's say Liverpool win all 3 and Liverpool are on 38. So 45, 38. Each team has played 20 games. Let's just say Liverpool beat Arsenal, which would then put it at 45, 42. No, 45, 41. We would be 4 points back. Even so, Arsenal would only have 3 losses. 3 draws, and 14 wins. Liverpool would have 6 losses, 2 draws, and 13 wins. The point that I'm trying to make is that it doesn't matter where you're at the 20th game, because for the next 18, Arsenal can afford to drop points because they have less games in which they have dropped points already. That's the point. You don't have any insurance. Even if we somehow close this gap, even if you close the gap and Liverpool get within 5 because we beat Arsenal away, you still have to be perfect for the rest of the season. Arsenal don't. That's the problem. I still think City are going to win this league, but doesn't change the fact that it's December 22nd. Holy fuck, it's December 22nd. And we're out of the title race. That's not it's not great. It's not great. Not great. The season is over and it's not even 2026 when it comes to the Premier League. Liverpool could maybe win the Champions League, maybe. But I don't know. We have a furthering injury crisis that gets deeper and deeper every week. Our style of play regresses every week. We create less and less every week. Let's just put it this way. At least when we were losing all these games, we still created an abundance of chances. Like when we lost the Palace away, we could have taken the lead and then some in the second half. We peppered them. Chelsea, we could have taken the lead against Chelsea away before they took the lead at the end of the game. Now, we don't create shit. And we concede a little less. Even though we still concede gilt-edged chances all the time. We just concede them a little less often. The midfield is disjointed. The buildup is terrible. You still want your center backs to be your 10s. You now no longer play with wingers. You just use wingbacks as wingers, not even attacking wingbacks. They're just full-on progressive wingers at this point, which vacates their defensive capabilities. Well, we don't play with wingers, so it's clearly going to be Ekitike, the same fullback attacking, and 4 or 5 midfielders. They'd probably drop an attacker and put a midfielder in. But then one of these midfielders is going to go down and we're going to be screwed. We're starting to feel the consequences of the form that we had in the beginning of the season. It's like it's never going to leave. It's never going to leave us. Szoboszlai is also suspended for the next game. That is true. And Wolves gave Arsenal a really tough time. I guess the only positive is that United are 3 points behind us. But I don't know how we change. Like at this point, there's no point in really talking about the team. From this point on, I'm just gonna try. Like for my own sake, I need to just try to support the players. We all know my opinions on this manager. And for all the people that don't know my opinions on this manager, it's pretty simple.
All right, Gold Member. Don't play the laughing boy. There are only two things I can't stand in this world. People who are intolerant of other people's cultures and the Dutch.
What?
That's not going to change. But I need to start supporting the boys. I need to just try to cling on to some sort of positivity. And that positivity is going to be supporting Hugo Ekitike. It's going to be supporting Federico Chiesa, the most mistreated player in the Premier League. It's going to be about supporting Ibrahima Konate, who receives the most unwarranted criticism out of anyone in our team. It's going to be about supporting Florian Wirtz, who I think has been exceptional regardless of his output, because so much that he does goes unpraised. It's going to have to be about supporting Ryan Gravenberch, who is unfairly critiqued because people blame him for not being a progressive passer, even though he never has people to progressively fucking pass to. I'm just going to switch to just talking about my boys. There's no need to talk about the manager. We all know who he is. We all know that he's a cancer to this football club, and we don't support anyone who supports him. You can have that opinion, but I don't side with you. I don't break bread with you. I don't share wine with you. I don't want to hold discourse with you. You can take your delusions and you can fuck right off, because I'm not an idiot. I'm not an emotionally driven fucking sheep that is going to sing the club song and say, "Do you know the meaning of the words, you'll never walk alone?" I don't know. Do you know the meaning of the words of "suck a bag of dicks"? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Could you take Slot's cock out of your mouth before you talk to me? Thanks. Appreciate you. It's very hard to hear you when you're gargling another man's balls. You need your tongue to speak. No, I'm just going to get behind the boys and hope that they can win something for themselves. You know, hope that they can do something on their own. The one criticism that I will have, and the one saving grace for Arne Slot in that game, and one thing that I don't blame him, I do not blame him for what I saw against 9 men. I don't blame Slot for that. Now, I do think there was an element to Arne Slot's mentality being, put into this club, his terrible pragmatic football, his pussy-based system. I believe that was an underlying cause, but it doesn't change the fact that when Spurs went down to 9 men, there's not much that a manager should tell you. Keep the ball. You have 2 extra men. But we just played like cowards. We sat back, and every time we had the ability to progress a counterattack to then hold possession in the opposition half, the rest of the team sat a low block. We didn't vacate our own half. We just let them have the ball over and over. That's not on Arne Slot. That's on the players. Like, you need to use your fucking brain. At a certain point, I'm willing to accept that there are cancers that Slot puts into this club, but at the same time, you're a professional footballer and you should have a brain. You should be able to decipher this moment and figure it the fuck out. The performance from the players when they went down to 9 men was disgraceful and disgusting, and none of them should hold their head high, and that's not on Arne Slot. The performance at 11v11, that is on Arne Slot. That was pathetic. The performance at 11v10, that's a little less on Slot, but that's still on Slot. Again, pathetic. 9v11, Habibi, you don't need a fucking manager to tell you how to play with a 2-man advantage. It's that simple. Hey, that's very xenophobic of you to think that just because they're Americans, we're the same. How dare you? You're such a judgmental asshole. You sound like a racist. Are you a racism sympathizer, MK Toe? Are you racist against Americans? Do you think we're all the same? Do I look like an obese man to you? Tell me, do I look obese? Do I eat McDonald's every day and suck on seed oils? Does this coffee have 12 pounds of sugar? I don't know, MK. You tell me. You tell me. We're all the same, right? We're all the same. 100%. I live in California. No, I don't own a gun. Although I really wish I did. Guns are fun. Guns don't kill people. People kill people with guns. I wouldn't kill people with guns. I feel like I need a gun though. You know, the world's going to shit real fucking quick. Pretty soon with the advent of AI, 10 years from now, we're all going to be sitting there just saying,
No. We're completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
That's for you, Bob. Listen, bro, the biggest issue with McAllister is his off-ball movement. Like my biggest issues with McAllister aren't even what he does on the ball. My biggest issues with McAllister are what he does without the ball. Just like how my biggest issue with everyone is what do you do when you don't have the ball? And the simple fact is they stand around, they stand in static positions. Like the way that Arne Slot coaches this football club is super simple. It's super simple. Ready? Arne Slot stands there with a tactic board, right? Let's just imagine that this is a tactic board. And Arne Slot, when he's coaching this football club, he'll say this. Guy has the ball right here, right? What I want you guys to do is you stay right here and you don't move. You stay right here, you don't move. You stay right here, you don't move. You stay right here, you don't move. You guys all need to stay static. And the person with the ball, it's his job, and it is incumbent upon him to bypass the mid-block of 5 and get the ball to you. So if he does bypass the mid-block of 5 and you're out of position, then we're screwed. So you must stay exactly here. Do not move. Stay right here. The issue here and the fundamental flaw of Arne Slot is that he's a fucking moron and there's no one on the planet who can consistently beat a mid-block. So Arne Slot, the stupid fucking cuck-faced piece of shit, thinks that one guy can beat 5 and that everyone else needs to stay exactly where they are so that he can consistently beat the 5. This is slot ball. Simple. You know, I'm just going to go out on a limb here. I think that this is Donna Cullen. Donna, I think that this is one of your ghost accounts. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. You can't hide from me, Donna. I think that this is one of your ghost accounts. We don't even fucking press. That's the thing. Hold on. I think I saw it before. Give me a second. I mean, look at this. Like if you needed any more proof that Spurs are total shit, this is 11v11. And look at our press. But just look at how terrible Tottenham's buildup is. Like, read this. More compact. They created 0.44 XG in the first half, yet this guy conveniently forgets that they created more XG through 90 minutes with 10 and then 9 players against 11. Liverpool didn't even create a single full XG against 10 players for 70 minutes, regardless. Look at how terrible Tottenham's buildup is here. Look at the acres of space. Like, it's a basic, fundamental concept that when a team presses you, you compact yourself. The only way to beat a press is to get the extra man. It's that simple. That's the way I view football. Yes, there are other ways, but those are called outliers, and those are not consistent. If the other team has 6 in my half, I need 7 in my half. It's a pretty simple math equation. If I have a +1, I have the extra man. If I have the extra man, I can move freely. So this guy is crediting our press in this screenshot. What I'm saying is that, well, I'm not going to credit the team for being where they fucking should be, because this is what the fucking standard should be in a press. And I am going to look at the fact that Spurs are setting up like fucking blind morons. 3 blind mice. Where the fuck are they going? Look at this. Look at all of this fucking space. Completely vacated. I mean, you give the ball to Romero, you've already shrunk the pitch. There is no central outlet for Romero, so Romero has to go to the fullback. And now the fullback has no central option, so the fullback has to go forward. I don't think you should blame players from the start of the season. I'm just saying that second half is on the players. When Spurs went to 9 men, that's not on Arne Slot. That is entirely on the players. 100% on the players. When you have a 2-man advantage, the manager can't do much. You shouldn't need him. Let's see what else is in my bookmarks. I do think that Slot overcomplicates the game 100%. 100%. I fully agree with you. You know, we're not very direct anymore. We don't play direct football. I mean, bro, we don't, again, our possession-based structure is not the same. We always fall into a back 3 in possession. So you're talking about 4-4-2. 4-4-2 is a pressing structure. Our possession structure is very simple. I want 3 center backs. Generally it's a double pivot. In this particular screenshot, again, I'm not making a point about where the guys are. Just trying to show you that we build up in a 3-back structure. Generally, for the most of the season, we would have 1 here and then the rest of them be behind. We're making a little bit of improvements, but the issue is that as the ball moves laterally, they stay stagnant. Either way, this whole 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, you're talking about pressing structures. Our possession structure hasn't changed. We build up with 3 at the back. I don't want Emery, Bob. Anyway, the title of this stream is a short stream. It is going to be a short stream. There's not a lot to take away from the Spurs game. And it is what it is. It is what it is. We have no room for error for the rest of the season. Alexander Isak is most likely out for an extended period of time. The football is not progressing. It's regressing. We're just conceding less. But hey, 500 million pounds, 6 games unbeaten after 3 straight games being beaten. It is what it is. We got Wolves this weekend. We got Christmas in a couple days. Big up to all you guys. Appreciate you hanging out. I got to dip out of here. Short stream today. We will be back after Christmas, probably. I hope you guys all enjoy Christmas if you celebrate. And if you don't celebrate, then celebrate the fact that no one is doing anything on that day. And that you get a free day because other people are celebrating something. Either way, we'll be back before the Wolves game to talk about it. And yeah, don't let all these positive people disillusion you. Not a lot to be positive about. But that's okay. Let's focus the rest of the season on getting behind the lads. I don't have any updates on Semenyo. I don't really pay attention to I don't pay too much attention to transfer news in the middle of a season. I also don't think that he's going to change anything. But the last I saw, I think he agreed terms with 3 different clubs. Hey, fuck you, Bob. Fuck Christmas. How dare you say fuck Christ? Fuck you, Bob. But either way, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy the rest of your Monday. Appreciate y'all being here. Smash a like, hit a subscribe. And don't forget, no matter what sort of positive mentality, no matter what sort of bullshit someone feeds you, I want you to remember that this is really what they're saying.
Would you mind loaning me some of your lipstick, Mom? Because I want to at least look pretty the next time you decide to f me.
Never let them gaslight you. Always stay strong. And when someone tries to say, hey, if we beat Arsenal, we have a chance at the league, I want you to say, did you forget about what happened in the rest of the season? Because I don't. And what happened in the first 15 games led to the simple fact that we are absolutely...
No. We're completely fucked, completely fucked. We're completely fucked.
Simple as. All right, people. Big up to you. I'm out of here. Deuces.